Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in true life, or
Okay.
just in the game?
I can hear
Whatever.
ya.
Whatever works for you. After
Okay.
offering some sexual aids to Widow, I went back to my room.
So sexual
That's
aids
right.
is probably not a good mashing of two words.
Well, she
but
said enlarged
it's-
spell, so I mean.
Well,
Yeah.
sexual and then AIDS, but whatever.
So I go down there to the bar. I get my dinner. I enjoy a couple glasses of wine. I kind of look around the room, see if I can find anybody that might be interesting. Feeling a little Sasha today, so we'll pick up a guy or two or three.
All your characters are always Sasha tendencies of Sasha.
No, this is the first time for Widow.
Yeah, I know.
I
No, but I'm
usually
saying
don't-
they
I
all
usually don't
eventually
tramp
go
around.
that route.
Be gentle
Well,
with
it's
her.
because-
It's her first time.
No, it's not that first time. It's my first time since she's been with the party.
It's my first time again today.
Like a
But see,
virgin.
somebody in
And
the
I'm
party's
only
got to be
12.
a tramp, and it's always me because nobody else wants to be.
Touched for the 91st time. How's that
Right,
song
drop.
go? I was touched for the 91st time.
Now that's
Oh,
Sasha. And then I retired to my room, and I guess to do we'll all just gonna pass the time.
Alright. Sounds good. You find a couple strapping lads or whatever you want there.
All right.
Vey, you get to a nice trance. Tiberius, you get back to the place. You have a couple elves
Chablis.
hit on you. A couple males hit on you. You get back to the humble abode. Shrump,
Whatever.
you fall asleep. You have some more food, some more drink. The next morning comes. You guys are all summoned to the council. No wheelbarrow this time. The council is happy to see you, and
There never was a wheelbarrow.
no, I know. No, you're right. I was just throwing that in to be funny, but you guys get to the council. You see Leosin and Onthar again, and they usher you in to the third council, and there are still all of the same figures as last time. Lady Silverhand. Elia is not there. Elia, the silver dragon from the Metallic Dragon Council, she's not there. You can see Ambassador Braun Anvil. You can see pretty much they're all there. King Melondrock, Terran Hornblade, Serestival's there, Delon Winterhound, and the one thing that you can you do notice that there is a couple new figures. Well, the tiefling that you had found with the white dragon back on the Glacier of Ice. Now they are the Arcane Brotherhood are now representing themselves. Well, as last time, they're represented in the council now. And there is another mysterious, sort of like a really clammed up figure that is, as you come in, and everybody stands up and bows, and they introduce you to one of Sir Estival's apprentices or something like that. Let me figure it out. Let me get it. So unprepared. Ah, yes. Let's see. Here it is. Ah, yes. Sir Estival introduces you, and this is also another tiefling, and he introduces her as Rian Nightshade, and he introduces you as one of his special advisors, and she is also a special advisor to Lord Neverember.
Nice to meet you.
All right. So Lady Silverhand, now that she is the head of the council, and she has been since the second session, She says this session will come to order. And, adventurers, tell us about your journeys to the Misty Forest. And please also tell us about this meeting with Elia and the other metallic dragons. We are very eager to hear the results of your journeys.
Well,
I don't think they're going to be very pleased.
And what do you
Why do
mean
you
by
say that?
Why do you say that, Shrump?
Well, first of all, they laid down some conditions. What they is insisting on things what we does before they is going to be helping us.
Who, the dragons?
Yeah, they've got some things what they is needing us to do for them, so that they will actually sort of like give us the help what we need to
Some
defeat
concessions on our
the cult.
part.
Yeah, them things.
All right.
there's a big appeasement that the elves are going to have to make.
Melondrot kind of looks at everyone and he looks really stern and he says, "What are these concessions that you are giving to the dragons? We have to make concessions? What are they?"
Well, they're things what you have to do before they'll help you. Does he not understand what a concession is?
Oh,
Sure.
he's asking you what the concessions are.
Right, well, you have to go over there and see the dragons, right? And say, I'm very sorry for using that really nasty spell what we has, magic's what we has for killing dragons.
Oh, perhaps Vey would be the best one to.
What,
I
are you
believe
trying to say?
Trump put it very bluntly and eloquently at the same time, I believe. Basically,
you.
they would like an apology.
For what, the Arcanum from years ago?
That's the
From
beast.
my ancestors?
Indeed, like I said, it's a very trivial thing, and then we can move on.
Trivial. Those dragons destroyed many of our homelands. That is why the most powerful elves got together and created this Arcanum. We were just simply protecting ourselves.
We can argue about who said what to who and who said who's what was bigger than somebody else's. Look, all you have to do is put it down in a little scroll what he's saying. We is very sorry and we won't do it again. Cross our hearts and hope to die really horribly in boiling oil and red hot burning lava. Signed, the King of the Elves.
What Trump means to say is that we can make these concessions temporarily, at least, to get the cooperation of the dragons at this point. We do have, of course, a much bigger issue than the dragons at hand.
And Lady Silverhand says, "What is this issue that you speak of?"
The rising of Tiamat, of course.
Well, we all know that is the main issue, but I was thinking that you were saying that there was another issue involved with the elves and the dragons.
Oh no,
No,
just
not
that this
not
is the
the
bigger
elves.
issue, and I think what we're talking about and what they're asking for is trivial in comparison to this larger issue.
I am in agreement with that. Lady Silverhand agrees, but King Melondrock he is furious about this, and he shouts out, "We were protecting our homelands, but," and he kind of sits there for about 30-45 seconds, and then he says, "I will go ahead and I will agree to this, but my elves are not getting in the front line to die. The dragons can."
That's very brave of you. just like a proper or elvish warrior. Let somebody else do the dying for you. Very clever, very elvish. Like it. Bunch of
Anyway.
Such the diplomat, Trump.
Trump,
What?
perhaps you should.
Says by a true warmonger.
Yeah, well, at least I'm not stood at the back flapping my arms about going, ooh, hocus pocus, look at me, I'm so
Trump!
so scared. What?
Good Trump, why don't you go get some mead somewhere? Because obviously, this is not helping. The
Are you getting out
situation.
the Shrump squirt bottle? The Shrump squirt
It's-
bottle? No, Shrump, no!
And besides,
Bad
the
Trump,
elves
naughty
are not
Trump.
the only ones that are being called to concede.
Trump's candid banter is welcome, of course. We all know
Absolutely.
where it's coming from. But we're,
Yeah.
of course,
So-
we're all adults here, and we know what the issues at hand are.
Yeah, and some
You're
of
very
some,
true.
some of them ones with pointy ears are big adults than the rest of us.
Anyway, the elves are not the only ones that have been called to make concessions.
Oh no, this is going to really hurt if you're a dwarf. Stunties are going to get it and all.
Well, Braun Anvil, he just kind of looks and he says, and what about the dwarves?
Yeah, you're getting a Royal Roger in and all in the old concession. That's it's good. Thing is, what the dragons is wanting.
Apparently, the dwarves possess an item made from a dragon. What was it? An armor?
Dragon bone armor, yeah.
Yeah, dragon bone armor.
From the ancestors of the.
And the dragons would like it returned so that the dragon can be properly laid to rest.
That artifact has been in the possession of the dwarves for many years.
But just think of how many after this battle.
So where are our concessions? What concessions do we have to make upon the dragons? This is sounds like a one-sided affair.
Well, it's not one-sided, because they are going to fight with us.
And Cuss, mighty imagine
and-
what dragons is
and many of
really
them-
good at.
Many of them will sacrifice their lives in this battle. Just think of, like I think Shrump was going to mention, think of all the dragon armor.
Exactly, that's what I was
possibilities
going to say.
afterwards.
That's
if
what I
one
was
might
going to say. Absolutely.
Braun Anvil says that there's just one suit of armor that was made from a dragon, and it was made by his ancestors many years ago. You know, it was dragons that were attacking the dwarves, and the dwarves wanted to keep the dragons in check. So that is why these dragons were slain. And it just happened to have been one of Elia's ancestors. Remember the woman that was actually here at the council last time.
Yeah. Well, of course, things have happened in the past. But these are different people with a different issue at hand, and a new future. I think we can forget about those things that happened to our ancestors and worry about what's going to happen to us now and our offspring, our families, and people that come after us.
Yeah, and also you got to think, right, that armor, what you has got, is really, really old, been collecting dust, and it's probably a bit manky now around the edges. So you might as well give it back to them, because it ain't going to do you no good, because otherwise you're just going to be all burned up when the big flappy dragon comes and bites your heads off.
I love the diplomacy of the orc. It's so great.
Half-full diplomacy. You look, I haven't stabbed anybody.
I don't think it's diplomacy. I think it's more intimidation, which is what I like.
Well, no, I think my character likes it because it cuts through the bureaucracy and the diplomatic speak and gets right to the issue at hand.
Yeah, and I also
Trump,
like
Trump
how
does not like diplomatic speak. He does not like diplomatic speak, none whatsoever.
I didn't think he did, but I also like how Vey added in. I think what my friend Trump is trying to say here is that was great. I like that. But now, Ambassador Braun Anvil, he will talk to the king. He will make the journey back to the Mithril Hall, and he will see what he can do about the request or concessions made by the dragons. Because then he says, if King Melendrock is, worthy of an apology, then I'm sure that my king will also fulfill his part of the concessions.
Or he'd actually start raving nut job, not to say yes. I mean, let's face it. If you say yes, and I say, look, really sorry, terribly sorry, here you are, have your manky bit of skin back, then all things is forgiven, and the dragons is going to be fighting on for us. Otherwise, we're going to be fighting dragons of all different colours, and that, believe me, is going to hurt lots.
Well, and then he says, it's like what the young elf had said. We have to think about the generations of the future as well. So I will go back to the Mithril Hall, and I will share the request with the king. He may not like it, but I'm sure I can sway his decision.
Good. That's what we the kind of thing. What we need is simple people agreeing with simple things.
Then we'll have peace in our time, right?
That's
we
right,
just need
peace.
we just need to capitulate.
We'll all be,
That's right.
sitting around the campfire singing Kumbaya.
And then when it's all over, I'm going to get those dragons and I'm going to kick them out and I'm going to build a really big wall and I'm going to make the dragons pay for it and the dragons can stay on one side and we'll stay on the other.
No.
Lady Silverhand says, are there any other concessions? And what concessions have we sought? And have we received any concessions? Meaning the council themselves.
Well, I would say the best concession that we receive is the dragons will be peaceful if we can keep our end of the dragon or our end of the bargain up. And plus
also,
go ahead.
Oh, and of course they're great at sacrificing, offering themselves in battle.
They'll be the front lines. And they will answer to us. We will command them.
And they've also given us some items to help us in our journey and our fight.
It's a great question for you.
Yes, and they've also stated
Great
they were willing to, work with us transparently. We'll be able to coordinate our efforts. So I think that this will be a great step moving forward, and hopefully bridge some of the gaps between us and the dragons. They seemed earnest, and most of them did.
I don't remember a dragon called Ernest.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he saved the camp, I think.
Right, because I was confused because they all got like fancy names and stuff, and I was having trouble remembering all their names.
Was there, out of character, was there anything else that we were supposed to ask for? I don't think
In
so.
character, no.
Okay.
We want to keep the other stuff a secret.
I know, but I meant that they didn't want anything else from the council.
No, you can look at the notes I wrote about the dragons.
But why would I
The
do that when I
dragon.
could just ask you?
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, we're fine. I'll put asterisks by the stuff we want to keep secret.
Okay.
The banter, I love the banter. It's like the funnest part of playing the game. So King Melendrox is, he stands up and he says, "What news do you have of my misty forest?"
It hasn't burnt down yet. I mean, we tried, but it just wouldn't catch.
Oh my word.
And Sir Tiberius, what was that hideous look for as I asked the question and you made a face?
Oh, that was because my batteries in my headset was going out, and I just heard a beep beep. Sorry. So I wanted to get the battery charger, but I didn't want to miss anything. So sorry.
His brain is battery powered.
Well, Tiberius, why
what
don't you
news
tell
of the Misty Forest?
the tale of the Misty Forest?
Do you bring us here to the council?
I think he
I'll-
sent word back before we headed off to the dragons. He sent word back to King about his son.
About my
about his
son,
son.
I never retrieved any news of of my son? What of him? Is he
Oh,
okay?
you,
Is are our armies okay?
your son, he's doing absolutely tickety boo. You, on the other hand, ain't going to be doing so good when he gets hold of you. He's got absolute plans to becoming the next king of the elves, and he doesn't mind if he has to sort of like stab the people what is in the shoes at the moment
Remember,
with a dragon.
now remember his son that was looking for all of these. I mean, I had two sons. Remember his oldest son. He's I forget his name, but he was the one that you had just missed in several different areas that you had seen that Chuth and Narenvain had attacked. Well, his son, he says, of course, my son is in line for the throne. What does all of this mean?
Your younger
his
son.
eldest son. My
The other one, the one what you exiled.
my younger son, he was killed.
No, not so. We encountered him directly, along with the dragon Chuck.
Yeah, he's going to be wanting giving you a right good stabbing. And I can see his point.
It's quite a bloody battle.
He was the reason for the attacks in our homelands.
Yep, that's it. That's the gooseberry. He's the one what is doing all the killing and robbing and raiding of your peoples.
He's not happy. I mean, he actually takes his hand and slams it down onto the table, and he responds in cold fury. I mean, he is just pissed off to find out that his son betrayal of not only him but all of the elves of the Misty Forest. And he says, "Did you bring me his head?"
Well, what can we say, Mr. Boss Elf? Like, Elves is dead sneaky, like, and he used some kind of arcane trickery what's to escape. Plus, he had a really big dragon.
He fled during battle.
Do you know where he fled to?
Away.
With
Got
this
on board
dragon,
Chuff?
Chuff?
And left. Flew away.
Yes. Yes, we were underground when he left, so it was impossible to determine a direction at that point.
Yeah, there was quite a bit of debris and dust. And it was impossible to see which direction he was going. So it is unfortunate that we had to deliver this news to you. But he was collaborating with with even some of the people within the village or the communities there. So.
Well, I think they was conspiring with him just so that he wouldn't eat them.
Right. He was intimidating the others.
That's right, intimidation. And that's one thing I don't like. It's intimidation.
Of course not. Sure.
He doesn't like it being done poorly, he means.
Estival.
Yeah, that's right. If you're going to intimidate someone, you got to do it proper, like.
Estival just chuckles and he says, I knew I liked this shrump for something.
Which one's Estival? Is that
Sir Estival. He's the
yes,
older
yes.
gentleman, probably the oldest of all of the representatives there, and he walks with a cane, and you know that he was a purple knight, and in fact he still bears the insignia on both his cloak and the armor that he wears.
Wasn't he the one that went back to the cave we didn't finish the dragon there?
Yes, yeah, exactly, and that's when they brought back the tiefling, which you do see the tiefling sitting at the council table now, and then she kind of nods her head towards all of you.
But other than that, I mean, other than that, yeah, you've got your son, what he's trying to kill you. But other than that, everything is tickety boo and hunky dory, and really quite nice, and not burnt down in any way yet.
Well, King Melondrock expresses his gratitude to everyone, and he does apologize about releasing his anger, but he thought his son was dead, he will also agree to apologize to the metallic dragons for the arcanic mythal that was performed many years ago. And then King Melondrock sits, and then the ambassador Bron Anvil, he's definitely not happy about giving up this ancient draconic armor. But like you said, he will, if the elves are willing to help with the concessions, and the dwarves can do their part as well. And he'll go back to the Mithril Hall and talk to the king.
Well, should we discuss with the council that we've got this guy who believes that he can get us to...
The blue mask?
Sorry, but
Blue mask. He's saying
my
where
head
the
is
blue
a
mask
fog
is.
of phlegm.
Yeah, well, that's before we leave, that's one of the final parts of business will as the matters of the council was, is there any new leads, or the council is sort of at like a stalemate on what is supposed to be going on. I guess I guess the council is just waiting, and this is what you're thinking, that I guess you're thinking that the council's waiting for the dragons to make the next move. So, but do you guys say anything about the Xander?
Xander, yes, I suppose we should.
That's
I'm
up
just
to
curious.
you guys.
I'm just curious. Does anybody else think the Blue Mask sounds like a gay bar?
Yes.
Hold
The
on,
blue
let me look it up.
mask?
Just sounds like the kind. Never mind. Sorry.
Moonstone mask.
That's in Neverwinter.
Yep.
It's
So that sounds like one too.
the floating
Think-
tavern.
I think all the elves go to those gay bars.
Oh, jeez.
They don't care. Or should they?
Well, let's see. Elves are liberated like that.
So, do you guys want to talk to them about our guest? I'm assuming that we
Absolutely.
brought him with us. Why don't you go
Well,
ahead and do that?
we
I
can't
have to
get rid
step
of the
away for one
fucker.
quick second.
She's gonna go hurl or throw up phlegm or something.
All right, so Silverhand, Lady Silverhand.
We've,
And who is this guest that you are bringing to this secret council that we have?
this is this person here. What has been apprehended in the Tiamat duties as patrolling the city. He's claiming what is a member of the what's it called, the cult of the dragon, and so I have taken him into protective custody, and we is protecting him because the cult of the dragon wants him dead, and anybody that the cult of the dragon wants dead has got to be all right in my book. Gov.
Gov. I love the gov thrown in there at the last, the very last part. That's great.
Legitimizes it.
I think so too.
Absolutely. Always gives that tone of deference.
Well,
Okay, sir, you can now divulge your information.
well, Silver.
These fine fellas.
Yeah, Silverhand, has a conversation with this Xander, and Xander's, as you're listening to this, them convey with one another, the story matches up, and Lady Silverhand asks the council if anyone has any kind of information, or the other organizations that are there, and the one of the tieflings, the tiefling that you were introduced to, one of the ambassadors of Lord Neverember and of Sir Estival, she said that she introduces herself, and you guys give me a perception check really quick. You guys would know this.
I can't find perception.
It's under P.
Pete, and just throw
Thank
it
you.
in, throw it
Thank
in
you.
the tower.
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
I am Captain Obvious.
And I've peed in your tower.
Ho ho!